So simping is destroying today's society. That is a very interesting title, isn't it? What do I mean and what have I seen that clearly states that simping and simps are destroying today's society? Well, when you actually look at the facts, you look at what's going on, there is a rise, there is a massive increase in men not being able to lead their own lives and men not being able to take the hard choices in order to do stuff that actually matters. Like, you see, you might be able to hear some drilling on the side here. I've got some other guys, I don't know if you can see, it's like over here. Got other people working on the roof, bro. Now that is not fucking easy. That is fucking shit. That is a shit job. But it's important. It's very important because we need people to help with the infrastructure. So the problem is today, men are not educated to be men anymore. Men are not educated to become leaders. Men are not educated to become important. Men are not educated to become valuable members of society. Men are discarded and put aside because, especially in the Western society, in the Western world, all of the education system is meant on purpose, is created, is molded, is like formed on purpose to make sure that men don't become inherent members of society that can fight against the system. So, like, for example, if you go to school, you have that divine spark of being a kid at first, and slowly but surely the education system will beat that out of you and will force you to bend to the rules and bend to obeying orders and complete meaningless tasks that don't make fucking any sense whatsoever, that you'll never fucking learn to use in the future, that will make a lot of sense. What I mean by this is, you've probably learned a bunch of stuff like math, science, and all of this shit at school, if you've went to school, that you'll never even use in the future. Like, I remember I used to be in math class, and I asked my teacher, like, okay, why are we learning this? And he said, because in the future you might need to do this. And I was like, might? What do you mean might? I'm not ever gonna use this. Never ever gonna use this ever. So why the fuck am I learning it? And so, number one, the education system is meant on purpose to belittle you and to make you feel small and to make you fall in line and obey orders. That is what the education system's for. And that is why you can see most people at their job are not willing to stand up for themselves, not willing to fucking stick it up there, not willing to say no, not willing to disregard what I've been told, because you've been told to obey orders, because if you don't obey orders once you have a job, you get fired. That's why. Plus, it's not really a necessary meaningful job either. So you're basically doing a shit job that is not necessarily meaningful, and yes, you're being paid, but at the same time you're just doing shit work. You know, like, you might work at a meaningless job. You might flip burgers, you might, I don't know, you might pour coffee, you might I don't fucking know. All of these manager, executive positions, marketing positions, sales positions, there's a bunch of stuff that just doesn't make any sense, and you don't fucking need it anyway. And that is all permeated by the economy and making sure that people have jobs so that they don't starve, because you need money to buy food. But if all the food was free, you wouldn't need a job. In that case, the economy and big food you would be fighting against it. I had this conversation with someone else, but that's a completely other subject. So number one, the education, the way men are educated today is not made on purpose to help us become helpful and valuable beings of society. You have to make your own way. You have to make your own path to be able to become that valued member of society. You're not by default one of them. It is very easy to become completely detached and completely and utterly useless to society and completely and utterly selfish and remain in your own ways and do fucking nothing all day, playing video games, fucking watching movies. If you do it too much to a certain extent, like, it's fine if you want to just play a video game, like maybe like a couple hours a week, like who cares, like it's fine. It is a hobby like another. You can read a book, you can watch a movie, you can whatever you want to do, bro, that's fine. But if you spend a lot of time on a hobby without it like rewarding you in a meaningful way, where you're providing value to society, it is a bit selfish. It is super selfish when you actually think about it. Now, yes, it might be a beautiful act of creation. I watched a video yesterday about this guy who was talking about how we create things to fight off the inevitable end of our universe, the inevitable end of all things, the chaos, the entropy. We fight it by portraying meaningless creation. So it's kind of the same, like whenever, I'm sure most of you guys watching might have played Minecraft at some point in time, and you know how you can create a single player world and you can just create a bunch of stuff. You can play like hours and hours and hours and just create a whole personal world. And it's kind of like drawing on a canvas. It's kind of like having a painting and just drawing on that painting until you have the finished product. But when you actually think about it, if you wanted to, if you really wanted to, you could never finish that product. Ever. And the product will outlive you because it's just on a saved game on a computer. So it's kind of the same with everything. Pieces of literature, like paintings, drawings, pieces of art, buildings, infrastructure, like literally everything, bro. Like, life is beautiful. And so if you do too much of the extreme of going too much into a hobby, you're going to become so driven by selfishness that you're not going to be able to focus, and you're not focusing on becoming a valued member of society, and you're not helping each other, you're not helping other people, you're not providing for other people, you're basically just doing your own thing. And I think you shouldn't focus 100% on that, because if everybody did that, society would fail. So what I think we all need to come together to do is help each other move forward just a bit more, even if it's just like a couple percent every day, just helping each other, helping other people, just making their day just a bit better, giving them a bit of energy, giving them inspiration, motivation, or even value, monetary value. You can pay them for services. You can say, hey, please help me do this, I'll help you do that. Just become a valued member of society. We need to do this more. We need to be less selfish and more selfless. So that's number 2. Another thing about why simps are destroying society is, to be perfectly honest, when I look at online, all of this degeneracy around like OnlyFans and fucking, I don't fucking know what there is, like the other apps and whatnot. I don't care. Fuck. So all of these things, and when I see somebody, a woman, that provides no value to society other than her sexual body, I guess, sexualizing her body online, and to show that to other people and making millions of dollars off of that. It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I'm here working hard, providing value to society. There are people working on the roof over there. There are people working in the sewer, and they're getting paid fucking dirt. Nothing. Almost nothing compared to those people. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, why do you have to do that kind of stuff? It's like, I don't see the point. Like, if you really wanted to change society tomorrow, and you wanted men to start actually pulling their fucking fingers out of their ass, as someone would say, I would just delete pornography off of the internet. I would make it, like, not necessarily illegal, but I would just delete it. I would just completely erase it from the internet. And all of these women, if you can even call them women, that do OnlyFans, that do webcam stuff, they would need to find another avenue, more noble avenue, to sell their services. Or if they actually wanted to be a fucking whore, then go down the street and work in the brothel bar. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, go down the street and work at the strip club, or go down the street and catcall men and ask them, like, hey, do you want to sleep with me for money? It's like, that's basically what it is. Like, that's what it used to be. It's not a very moral, very ethical way to get money. So they would either do that, or they would become an inherent member of their family, and in that case they would be more responsible with their family more than actually just looking to make money. The problem is, all of the economy, all of the stuff that is being created, all of the system that has been created today enhances people to take these bad decisions because they need the money to survive. Because the cost of things just keeps going up and up and up, and the amount of money you earn is the same. So you need to find better ways to make more money. And what's the easiest way to make money? Oh, well, you can sell your own body. You can sell your own values. You can sell your own time and energy. That's pretty much it. And most women don't have that much to offer, to be perfectly honest. They don't have that much they can bring to the table. So what do they offer? If they're beautiful, that's what they sell. Their body, their sexuality, their innate desire to attract men. That's pretty much all they sell. And the problem is, millions of guys subscribe to these people and pay them. Like, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We need to educate men to take responsibility for what the fuck is happening in society. And as soon as that happens, we would be able to delete most of the simping. Because what's happening is, these people are in their room all day doing nothing, just fucking gooning all day in their room all by themselves, no social contact, and then they're having this beautiful access to these beautiful women that are products of lust and that are super easily accessible to see online. And it might even get worse, to the point where they might think they might interact with them and chat with them, but it's actually just some fucking Indian guy from fucking Pakistan, and he's just telling you, hey, oh sir, oh yes, please sir, give me the money, sir. Please continue gooning, sir. Like, think about that, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, most of these women that do OnlyFans and all that sort of stuff, they're not like fit to run a business, to run marketing at the same time as doing their degeneracy. They're not fit to do that. They're not programmed to do that. Like, it is very hard to do both at the same time. So most of these women have a manager, have a fucking agent, have somebody doing it for them, you know? So when you actually think about that, it's like, bruv, no, no, bro. It is so shameful. It is so sad. To be perfectly honest, like, I don't respect you. I don't have any sympathy for you if you do that kind of stuff. Like, sure, if you have like an extremely high sex drive, then maybe it might help you to do it from time to time. I don't fucking give a shit. Do whatever you want, bro. But if you can abstain from it, I would just find a genuine bond, a genuine connection with someone else that you can share that sexual desire with. And because it is not just about the act of, it is part of the Maslow, like, if you know Maslow's hierarchy, love, belonging, and like sexual interaction with the other gender, or the other, whatever you want to fucking call it, between men and women, or with another person, is an inherent part of human, like, society. It's like food, shelter, water, security, loving, belonging. That's like the third or fourth one, I'm pretty sure. And then when you actually keep that into account, you're like, okay, well, if relationships is as important as food and water, how can I become better to satisfy that urge in a productive way? Because I used to do the same thing. Like, I used to be addicted for quite a long time. I'm not very proud to say this, but it's something I've learned from a lot. I've been addicted, like, when I was in my younger years, to just like online pornography or whatever. And now that I'm not just doing it like all the time, like, I don't really look at it anymore. Like, it's like, why the fuck would I care? Like, I have more important stuff to do, you know? I want to become a more valued member of society. I want to develop meaningful relationships with people, and watching and indulging in that kind of stuff is not really helping me, actually. It is actually quite the opposite. So you have to think about it. Okay, everything that has been developed, everything, the entire system has been meant on purpose to distract people. And so, especially men, because what do men want? They want attention from women, and they want to build a family, and they want to fight, I guess, in some shape or form, may it be through a video game or may it be in real life. They want to do cool stuff, and they want to look cool, and they want to feel good. That's basically all there is to it. They want to provide. So when you actually think about everything that's going on, everything is mostly a distraction. If you go too far to the extreme, you are 100% distracted, then you're most likely going to like end up being a simp. If nobody has ever educated you to have a backbone, if nobody has ever educated you to stand up for yourself, if you're, let's just say what it is, if you're a homosexual, feminine, beta male, as someone would say, I don't fucking give a shit about all these terms, but if you're someone that tends more towards the weaker side of relationships and tends towards being like less capable and being less confident and doesn't have that much self-respect, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up going through this rabbit hole of degeneracy, and you're going to end up isolating yourself, and that is basically just going to kill your bloodline off. Like, you're basically eradicating yourself from the gene pool of human evolution. So you have to think about it. If you are indulging in any of these kinds of things, how can you work on becoming a valued member of society, and how can you change what you're doing today so that you can become a better person? Because if you continue doing what you're doing, is that something in someone that you actually want to be like and look like in the future? Is that part of the lifestyle you want to have in the future? And if not, why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep doing it? Is it like an inherently big part of your life right now? Is it like just a small part of it? Are you a strong independent person, or you a weak dependent person? You have to think about that. You have to decide for yourself. So yes, I do think the biggest problems are education. They are So yeah, education, distraction, like endless distraction, and then realistically there's a lot of elements, but the biggest one is education. We're not educating men anymore to become protectors, providers, and leaders. And that is the biggest one, and that is inherently linked with the education system in the West. Now, there are things you can do to counteract this, but the biggest thing comes from your own environment. If the people around you are not good role models, are not people that inspire you, are not people that live good and meaningful lives, then you're just gonna see the people closest to you as the only thing you can do. And then in that case, you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever, bro. I'll just do whatever I want. Like, you can see this when you're talking to people that are super deep into politics. Say, yeah, I really want to be free. I really want to have freedom over what I'm gonna do, and freedom is so important. I want to have freedom of choice. I want to have freedom of doing whatever I want. It's like, no, the economy's there. You are not free. Being free means you are financially free, you are emotionally free, and you are location free. That is what it means to be free. It is being free of mind. Nobody can do anything to counteract you, to make your life worse, or to make your life more complicated. That's what it means to be free. It is being free of all material possessions. I'm pretty sure a couple of Greek philosophers talk a lot about this. They talk about being free of all material possessions. And most people today are actually not free because they're attached to someone, to something, to their job, to buying stuff, to consuming, all these things. They might be attached to one thing, they might be attached to multiple things, and it is something to ask yourself, what am I attached to right now that if it disappeared tomorrow, I would be extremely angry and emotional about it? Like, I remember when my laptop died and I didn't have the money to buy a better one. I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And then I was just like, yeah, you know what, who cares? I'm just gonna go buy a laptop that's like super cheap, and then I'm just gonna keep working, and then I'm gonna make the money to buy a new laptop, a better one. I don't care, bro. Like, it doesn't affect me anymore. Like, I choose what my feelings make me do. I'm emotionally intelligent enough to decide for myself what I want to do and how I react to things. And this is one of the most important things that men can learn, especially when it comes to education and not becoming a weak member of society. It is extremely important to become emotionally intelligent so that you know how to control your emotions, you know when they're happening, how they're happening, what are the causes, how can you use these to boost your own energy levels to move forward, and how can you use this to convince people or to persuade people into doing things that you actually want them to do. That way, it becomes extremely easy to benefit the lives of the people around you, and it becomes extremely easy to create a better life for yourself. As soon as you know emotions, you know your own emotions, you know how other people's emotions work, you can mold any conversation, any social setting, anything to your advantage in order to become a better version of yourself. I learned human psychology a couple of years ago. I started learning, and I'm still learning to this day, how people think, what they think, how they, like, what are the processes that go in someone's brain, what goes on, what are the like base survival instincts, how does a person think based on their identity, all this stuff, because it is extremely helpful in sales. It is extremely helpful in business. It is extremely helpful when you're leading a group of people to know exactly who you're talking to, so that way you can influence them as best you want. Now, this can be taken in two different ways. It's being taken in a negative way and a positive way. You You can either be positive about it and lead people to a brighter future that you can decide for them because you have the emotional intelligence and the clarity to bring them to a better place, or you can use it for evil, which I do not recommend, and you can manipulate them into doing what it is you actually want them to do. And in that case, I have no sympathy for you, and you can, I please leave right now. I don't want you here. So there you have it. So why are Sims destroying today's society? It's mainly linked to the education, how men are educated today, and how the fact that they're not becoming leaders, they're not becoming valuable members of society, and they're not becoming productive. Men are just told to do whatever, bro. Just go play video games, whatever the fuck you want, bro. Just goon all day, just fucking whatever. Who cares? And so this is the biggest problem. If you do not have any members of your family, of your immediate environment, that are there to show you the example of what a man can become for the people around him, then you're just going to end up becoming a weak member of society. If you have nobody to take example from that is living a meaningful life, you're going to end up living the life you're just coming up with out of thin air. You don't know what to do, so you're just coming up with something and saying, hey, I want to do this because I feel a certain way. This is how I used to operate. I used to be like, oh yeah, I really want to play this video game, so I just play a video game and wouldn't care about what time it was. I would just play a video game until I got bored, and then I was like, okay, I'll just go do something else now. Okay, oh, this new video game, oh, this new movie, da-da-da. And so I would just do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I never had a structured schedule, didn't have discipline, didn't have anything. And now that I do, everything has changed. I've become a more productive and valuable member of my family. I'm actually helping people now. I'm actually making money. And so I'm working on increasing that financial level for myself so that I can provide for more people. So that way, once I get kids, I can provide for them. I know everything's going to be taken care of, and that way I can educate them in a way that I want them to be educated in. I don't want them to go to school like everybody else because I don't want them to be subjected to an environment where they have shit people. Not gonna lie, not insulting anybody, but to be perfectly honest, the education system breeds shit people, breeds sheep, and it doesn't breed the kind of people that I want to raise into this world. I want to raise people that are going to inspire people, people that are going to lead people, people that are going to be helpful and productive members of society. And to do that, I need to be very intelligently picky with the environment I'm going to raise my kids in. So you have to decide that for yourself. Are you just going to do whatever, or are you actually going to think about it for yourself and be like, what can I do today to become a more valued member of society? How can I educate the next generation to become better people and learn from my mistakes? How can I improve moving forward the people around me, including myself? And with that said, that's the end of the video. So I appreciate every single one of you guys watching it to the end. As always, super appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, if you want any advice or feedback, I'm happy to give some to you. Just ask in the comments. Happy to have a discussion. And with that said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.